We all relate differently in life, and I got asked a question, I think it was sometime late last year, of what does it mean to be codependent in relationships. So when we talk about healthy relationship, it's relationships that are interdependent, and I'll unpack it a little bit. And then there are independent relationships, and then there are codependent relationships. That is where we're gonna park. But let me just unpack the interdependence and independent. So independent is I can do bad all by myself. You don't need anybody. It's what also in pop psychology we call hyper-independence. So a person will not want to ask help even if they have a roommate or a friend that is supportive, or a church leader or a business partner. They will try to do things by themselves. And the hyperdependency, it also comes from somewhere. I think you can go back to a video that I did on birth order. Yes, I did a video on birth order. So most of the time, if you were the one who was responsible for things, who needed to make sure that things go according to plan, when you are not there, nothing starts, or people do not know what to do and they don't know what questions, how to answer questions. That is when a individual becomes independent. So they become independent even in romantic relationships. So that's number one. Pack it there. And then we have what we call interdependency. Interdependency basically is where we want to find ourselves. It's in relationships where we know it's a give and take, there is reciprocity, there is mutual understanding, there is empathy. At given times, we know that this one is strong in this aspect, this one is not so strong in this aspect, and we carry one another in an interdependent relationship. So that is basically an ideal relationship. Now to the crux. A codependent relationship, how does it look like? It is, if you leave me, I will no longer be alive. So there was this couple, and the couple said, if you divorce me, I will terminate my life. And I was like, well, if you say you love this person and you say if they were to leave you, you will terminate your life, then I doubt that you love them much, because if you terminate your life, it means your children are not going to have a father, and this person is not going to have anybody to co-parent with. So I think you need to reevaluate you are going to do that in the name of love, that you love this person so much that if they were to leave your life, you will terminate your life. So that's how codependency looks like. It looks like a Friday night where you have your friends and your friends are doing something else that does not include you, or you have a family and your family members do something that does not include you, and for you it feels like it's the end of the world. It feels like you are not loved. You start saying things like, I always knew that you don't love me. I always knew that you don't care that much about me. I always knew that I'm the one who cares more about this relationship than the way that you care about this relationship. Codependent relationships can never be healthy. You as an individual are designed to live independent of people and dependent of people, and that is why we then say interdependent. You as an entity, you have the abilities to entertain yourself, to amuse yourself, be it with your thoughts, be it with your creativity, to have that quietness. Another example that I want to throw, it was a while back, we were doing a graduate program, and an individual said, I'm not surprised with the score. So we're doing an EQ assessment, and the scores was a high E, so almost to the extreme. And she was saying, I'm not surprised, because this is how that's how extremely extroverted I am. I cannot, so my makes me to not have the ability to sit down and read, because reading is one of the activities that you do solo most of the time, unless you are in a club discussing about a book. But because reading, requires for her to sit down with herself, she could not do that because she feels she is an extreme extrovert. But I brought her back and I said, no, I need to see you on one-on-one to coach you, because I don't think it is about you being an extroverted. Sometimes it's because you are afraid to spend time with yourself. You are so out of touch with yourself. You don't love yourself so much. Yes, I did not put it in this way, but Truth Thursday has taught you that this is how I speak as well. But that you are so out of touch and you hate yourself so much that you can't even spend time. So you will rather spend more time with other people. You will rather spend time giving to other people, but you don't give to yourself. You are not kind to yourself. You will rather speak kind words to other people, but you can never speak those same kind words to yourself. That is how codependence look. When you find yourself that you can never live without a person or people, or when somebody leaves, maybe geographically they relocate, or the relationship ends and you feel like this is the end of the world. Yes, I'm not talking about the acute pain that happens at that moment when you have lost somebody, when you are lonely because you long for that person. Maybe they have moved away and you cannot keep as frequent of touch as you used to. So I'm not talking about that acute time or when you are grieving somebody, but I'm talking about where you feel like you cannot do anything. The world has ended. You don't have a desire to have ambition, to plan, to do. So every plan needs to include somebody. Every plan needs to include a group. It needs to include a specific person, and you can never enjoy any activity by yourself. So this is how codependency look like. Recap: healthy relationships are based on interdependence. Unhealthy relationship with self is based on hyper-independence or independence. And unhealthy interrelationships is based on codependency. With this is a bit of scuffing from us here at Well Life Hub. Do enjoy the week.